So, here we are, the final part. So she's all done. The gauge is put in, so it looks pretty nice here. It's a lot better fitting than the original. Well, the one that wasn't beforehand, so it looks a bit more original. But like, may end up getting an original amp gauge. Other than that, here she is. She's back together. Albeit, like I said, we've had to change a few parts. The last thing we done was we had to change the brake master cylinder because it was bone dry and it was leaking. So obviously it was leaking from the back here because it was all pulled in on the servo unit. That got changed. A few little tweaks, like we ended up changing I can't remember from the last video if we just changed the distributor, which we did. So put a new distributor in, and other than that, the carbs are back on it. Now there is an issue with the carbs, so let me come around. So I was trying to tune them in balance, and I know other people have had this problem, like I know Ellen had this problem as well, is no matter how rich I put it, it was shown it was still lean a bit. Now, the way it is now is fine, it will run, but I think there's still too much air getting in from somewhere. So I think maybe one of the valves or something at the side or something. I don't know enough about these, I'm not going to lie. I'm not the carb person, I never said I was. I can only do so much. I can balance them, which is fine. I can put the mixture on them, which is fine, but like I'm pretty much maxed out as rich, and they're still shown lean. Now they're not really lean, they're not too lean, but they should be really rich by now. But albeit, yeah, just had it running, going through a few things, trying to sort out the little gremlins, like the little, whether I need to tighten it here or tighten it there, the little leaks. And I have to say, I'm relatively impressed with the electric fuel pump, this one here, that was put on it. So as far as I know, there was no regulator on it. There's nothing to regulate the pressure. It's just set. There's no gauge, and I have to say she runs good. So will we hear what it sounds like? All right, let's go. Now she's already warm. I'm not gonna lie. There she is here. Smooth as silk. So I noticed, and I don't know if it's anything to do with the fuel pump, but I noticed there's a lot less misfiring going on with the engine. Like every now and again, don't get me wrong, but I've done many of them where you'll get the little stutter every now and again, which is not uncommon. It's nothing to worry about. Like it's only idling. I know usually I've never seen them run this smooth unless it's fuel injection. So either, I'm going to boil it down to two things. One is either I have the ultimate timing and I have it down to precision, which I'd like to think. However, in all honesty, I think it's more for the fact of, oh, hang on a second. Yeah, but the oil switch on. Fell off. I was just tweeting that to move it, and I took this off to get in here, so I now put it back on. But I think a lot of it has to do with just simply that fuel pump as well, having nice consistent power. The fan, we're making sure that all works. But she sounds great. The only thing I would like to change on this is the belt. I think it's a 47-inch one or something like that. I'd like to get like 1 inch shorter, ideally, to give it a bit of play and a bit more tightness in it, because I swear I can hear it either like wheeze a bit when it's driving, but I think it's also to do with these. I think the air is getting in here and the wheezing I hear is coming in, and that's what's making the difference with the mixture. But overall, I'm very happy. Now, it sounds like it's high idle, but according to that, it's not. It's running like 950 or 900, so like it actually is shown low considering how she runs. I don't think she's running too good. So anyway, I took it for a spin, and I was obviously getting used to all the smells, because obviously all the gasket sealer and all that to burn off, and it stinks. The train has to go by. Yeah, sorry, train. But then like the coolant has to. It's always green, but when you put it in, it's almost clear, so that has to burn for the first time, because that smells a bit as well. So overall. So I was going to clean the windows, bird poop on it. Other than that, fan was working great, so I turned it off, and I made sure that, one thing I make sure is that when the fan comes on, that she doesn't come on above, or so to say, below the halfway mark. So I tried to time it enough that it adjusts, and how I do it is I have it here, and it's a little screwdriver, and you twist it to when you want to turn it off, so you can have it running hotter if you want, you can have it running colder, and so on. But yeah. Other than that, pretty happy. So overall, she turned out pretty great. I have to say, this car drives amazing. I don't know if any of you guys watched it now when I'm doing this video, but obviously the blue car is back. Some stones got into the cylinder head and absolutely clogged all the valves, so that's in getting the head swapped around, well, the valves and all that, so that's on to the next. But yeah, so I think to take it for a drive. The reason why is that he has a nice little holder here I can put the phone, so I think we should take it for a drive. Ready? Let's go. So yeah, here's the car. Car drives great, and I'm lucky enough he has a camera holder here in the front, so I can actually put the camera here. So I'm delighted with the car. The car drives absolutely amazing. It's smooth. Like I said, it's probably the smoothest I've ever done. So one of the last things I'd done before I brought this on a test drive, well, before I've done this video, is I've done it on a test drive and everything drives fine. But before that, there's a noise, and there's a noise coming from right down here, and I can still hear it. It wasn't there earlier on, so I thought, okay, I changed the differential oil, or should I say the gearbox. I dropped the gearbox oil, put new oil in, it didn't make the noise. Everything seemed hunky. I said, you know what, maybe it's just low oil or bad oil, so on. But I can hear it again, and it's coming from right down here on the drive shaft. So I'm starting to think, you know, maybe it's a universal joint that's on the way, because it's going with the shaft as it goes around. But what I've just discovered coming down the road here is that it only really happens when I turn right. So when I put the load and turn the wheel to the right, it goes, which is odd because it's not steering related, because I turn left it's fine, when I turn right it's not. So something is not right that when I turn the wheel to the right, and I don't know if you can hear it. You hear it? It sounds like loose metal. So I'll go check. Maybe it's like an exhaust hanger or something. I don't know. But what I noticed is that I can hear the belt. The belt's a little squeaky. Other than that, the only little few things is the carbs. No matter, like I said, when I try to do with the carbs, I feel like they're wheezing because I'm pulling in too much air. but also that, yeah, there's a truck I think wants to get by, is he? Is he turning? Yeah, I'll creep up a bit from so I can get past. The other thing I noticed is that says this noise only happens when I turn right. So I feel like that when I put a load on the right hand steer, it's rattling. So I'd go look at the maybe suspension or the exhaust hanger, but something's definitely going on in here when I turn it right. As soon as I turn right and then it leans a bit, it gets a lot worse. So other than that, the car drives amazing, I have to say. It's smooth. I can hear the carbs sucking. I can hear them sucking in, but it sounds like they're sucking a bit too much. Like I said, they're still a little lean. But that noise, it's not there now. I can't feel it. But if I put any way to the right, it's like a ball bearing in the jar. That's the only way I can describe it. Something bouncing around, like it's not touching, but something's physically rattling around. And it's only when I turn it to the right, so that's strange. It could be like the differential maybe, where when you put a load in it a certain way, it's the universal joint on the drive shaft spinning. So maybe that's something you'll have to bring to a shop and have a look at. It's hard for me to determine what it is without, I can't really put a load on it and turn it in the shop I have. So I'll let them know. The fact that it only happens when you turn right, I don't know if that's cause for concern. I don't think anything's going to board you got hit. I don't know if that's cause for concern. Like anything that makes a noise by right is not right. However, like at the end of the day, it's if it's only when you turn right, then it's only one thing. So I'll have to have throw a little eye over it and have a look. Coming across the bumpy bridge is here. Blah, 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 blah. So, but there's beautiful roads out here, and that's the great thing about these cars, is that out where we are, the country roads, they originally would have been built for country roads like this, like if you call them B roads now, I think. Not motorways or anything like that. So like they were designed for them. They were designed to drive hard, but not, I say completely flat out, but you weren't designed to sit still, that's for sure. So like even now with this car, like driving it, trying to break the engine in, you want to keep the RPM down when you're changing gears. But like obviously, I think ideally these cars are designed to change gear about 3,500 revs. Obviously, like I said, I want to keep it down for the sake of breaking it in. But other than that, this is the delight for me, and this is a pleasure for me because I get to test drive the cars I built, so I get a bit of satisfaction in that way of doing this. And yeah, it's definitely the low here. I'm wondering if it's the seat. It feels like it's under the seat. You hear it? I'm turning left here now. So when I turn left, there should be no noise. Nothing. I'd start making some right hand turns, but like something's loose. There it is. So I turn right. So it's something about when I turn right. I can only thing I can imagine that based on the way what's happening is that it's nothing to do with the drivetrain, because the drivetrain won't make a difference whether you're going straight, left or right. It's the load. So when I turn right, the load is going to the left, which means the right hand side is lifting up, which means there's not as much pressure on it, and it's rattling. So therefore something is loose on the right hand side. That's my theory on it. I'll have to go have a look at it, and if you have any ideas or you've had the same thing, let me know. Maybe I've solved it by the time you put some up, maybe I haven't, but I'm starting to think it's something to do with maybe like, could be the trailing arm. Something on the right hand side is definitely loose, and that's what's doing it. But oh no, maybe it's just a nut and bolt, and the bolt has come free, and the nuts come off and the bolt is rattling. So I'm trying to talk myself on what it could be, but going the dead straight line, there's nothing. The car drives beautiful. Amazing drive. This car, I love this car actually. that electric fuel pump, I think, makes a world of difference, an absolute world of difference in how the engine runs. It's a lot smoother. The suspension and everything was done. The rear end is obviously different in the way of that. It's the Nissan rear end, the CV joints at the back. So I think it's good parts that do them. And I recommend them. If they're expensive, but they're a great piece of kit to get. If you can get rid of your universal joints, get rid of them. But yeah, so other than that, the car's ready to go home. I just had to figure out what that noise is. Why? When I turn right, it's making that noise, and it sounds literally like a loose bolt. So other than that, anyway, as usual, listen, I appreciate you watching the videos. Any comments, questions, concerns, reach out to me. And like, keep the comments positive. Like I said, it's not everything we do, whether it's my videos or somebody else's videos, it's going to be not everybody's cup of tea. It's not to your liking. Everyone has an opinion, that's fine. I mean, just keeping a positive opinion, and I mean that for everybody's videos, whether it's mine, whether it's Ellen's or Rusty Beauty's, whether it's Chef's Touches. I mean, we're all here doing something we want to do, so there's no need to throw some negativity out there. I mean, like, there's no need for it at all. So, but again, appreciate watching the videos, and yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the little drive back and then have a look and see what this is. But other than that, thanks for watching. See you in the next videos. Woohoo!